Welcome to section for Authentication Modules. In this section, we are going to use token system to generate and verify user token. We are also going to encrypt and authenticate user password. We will create sign-up mutation and will store user sign-up information in MongoDB database. And we'll build sign-up component so that user can easily fill up his form and create an account for himself. We are going to create sign-in mutation so that user can authenticate himself by providing credentials in our sign-in component. We are going to handle client-side routing for sign-up and sign-in component. And also we are going to handle restaurant following and rating for authenticated user. So let's get started. Handling authentication on server. In this video, we are going to use token system to generate JWT token. We are also going to create a function which will help us to verify user token. We are going to encrypt user password and we are going to authenticate user password. So let's jump into our code base and set up all the system. So first we will begin with creating a function called generate token, which will help us to generate a user token. So for that we are going to create a file called security inside libs directory. So let's import this library called Json Web Token, which will help us to generate and verify user token. And it takes a secret key, and this secret key can be any random text, and we are passing that secret key to a function called jwt.sign, which takes a user object, and user object is nothing but it's an object which will help us to generate this user token. Okay, in most cases it will be a user information. And once we get the new token, we are going to resolve this method, this promise, by sending that new user token to whatever function is calling this generate token method. Okay. Let's now create a function called verify token, which will help us to verify our user token. So it takes, as it sounds, token, and the token will be a format barrier token. And by using split method, we are going to get this token and we are going to pass this token to a method called jwt verify. And obviously we would need this secret, and this secret will help us to decode and verify whether the token is correct or not. And in case a user token is not correct, we are going to throw an error that your authorization is incorrect. Okay, and we are going to set up HTTP header, which will have this authorization key with this text barrier and the actual token. Okay, so let's now create a method which will help us to encrypt user password. We are going to use a package called decrypt, and this function will help us to encrypt user password. So the function name is encrypt. It takes a request string. Basically we would be passing user password over here at the time of sign up form. Okay, and by using a bcrypt.hash method, we are passing our whatever string which we are going to pass, and by using salt we are actually encrypting this user password. So once a hash is generated, that hash would be sent back to the main method where the encrypt function is being called, and we are going to store that encrypted hash into our MongoDB database. So now if you see, we are storing encrypted password in MongoDB database. So obviously we need to authenticate user, right? So for that we need a decoding method. So let's now create a method called authenticate, which will help us to authenticate user. So this function authenticate will take a user entered password, and we are also going to pass our actual user information. We would be fetching it from database, and we are going to use bcrypt.compare method, which will actually compare user entered data password and our encrypted password which was already stored in our database. And once a user is authenticated, we are going to use generate token method, and we are going to pass this user information to get the user token, and this token will be received by this request object param argument and will be passed to your sign method to generate the new token. And in case a user is not passing the correct password, that will be verified over here in this method, and the promise will get rejected saying password is incorrect. Okay, so let's now expose this method, all these methods, so that we can consume this method in our application layer. So but we are not going to expose the method called generate token, as this method we are going to internally use inside authentication method to generate our new token for authenticated user.